All right, everyone. Here is part 2 of our May garden tour. I just want to show you some updates on what is growing in the garden. We're in the middle of a heat wave, and the first thing you're looking at is our brown turkey fig tree, one of our fig trees, and it's doing pretty good. Okay, it's in a 5-gallon container, as you all know. And back of that is the random container, I will call it. We have onions and strawberries growing there. There's some cilantro. Over in this section is the dinosaur tree kale, okay? And interplanted with it is our strawberries. And the dinosaur tree kale is doing pretty dandy, I should say. As well, in this little section over here, random, is the Siberian Kale. All right, and then next to it we have our squash, summer squash. We have the crooked neck squash, and then zucchini that's starting to fruit. And what's new to the garden, along interplanted with our mustard, red giant mustard that's going to seed, is our amaranth here. The amaranth is something that's new, doing pretty good. I will be discussing about amaranth at another time and why I added it to our family's garden. Next to this is our Kadoda Fig Tree here. And this Kadoda is putting out more fruit, as you can see. Hopefully you can see the fruit. It is leaning a little bit, so we had to put a stake here because of all the fruit that is starting to appear. And then right next to it, we have our Flameless Thompson grape. We pruned it back recently, and it's putting out more flowers, new berries. Okay, and I'm super excited about that. It's doing pretty good. And then over in this section, we have our black stat and blackberry thornless, and the bees love this thing. I have seen so many bees on this blackberry bush here, and hidden in underneath is some arugula that we are going to allow to go to seed because I love arugula. Okay, next to it is the Misty Blueberry that you all have seen in our family's garden for a while. It's putting on fruit. And also interplanted underneath is our strawberry patch here. 2 different varieties. You all know about this as well. And on the opposite side is the azaleas. And next to it is the raspberry shortcake that is also putting off some fruit. And then right next to that Misty Blueberry here is the Sunshine Blue. It needs some help. I think that it's stressed out a little bit. It started to flower, and now it's putting off very tiny berries. But some of them didn't make it, as you can see. And then next to it is the Desert King. This one is also starting to put off new fruit as well, as you can see. It put out a main crop and a bumper crop, and hanging onto it is the raspberry, thornless raspberry bush that's right across from it. Now, another thing that we have done is chop back and prune heavy our Moro blood orange into an Espanol style, and the reason why we cut it back because the weather was crazy. It was struggling, and I wanted to do a little experiment to see how it will grow and develop like this. So it's almost in shape, almost like into a V, but it's in a shaded area because it did not like the location it was in the beginning of the spring. And you can see our raspberry bush is showing out. It has extra berries here, some that didn't make it fully because we didn't harvest it on time, but we can make jam out of it if we wanted to. You can see there's some straggly, crispy leaves here due to us being in the middle of a heat wave, you all. And so make sure you keep your garden hydrated when you're in the middle of a heat wave. It's very important. Next to that is the Washington navel. As you see, is doing pretty good. It's also in this location for the late summer, early summer, and late summer, because it doesn't like a lot of our extreme heat above 100 degrees. So that's why it's in this location. Okay, and then over here the Star Jasmine, and you all know about the Sweet Bay that is doing tremendously well in this location, as well as the Tuscan Blue Rosemary. We do have some more new additions in our garden, as you all know. I will show you that at a later time. But also, before I forget, I want to show you that we harvested the, I can't think of the name now, the Moret tree collard, okay, this second variety here. And then we also took some pieces of the kale, dino tree kale, the second one we have in our garden as well. So the garden is looking pretty good. Everything is very healthy. It is hot, and so I am going to go and cool off because it's extremely hot. But I wanted to give y'all part 2 of our family's May garden.